If you're expecting a bunch of guru fluff and get-rich-quick garbage, you've come to the wrong place. This show is the no bullshit real deal.
No bullshit real deal.
I'm Larry Harbolt, and they call me the real deal. Welcome to my show. This show is aimed at providing you with quality information so you can make more profit in the fastest way possible without making costly mistakes from the deals you do.
Let's get started.
Hello, everyone. You know, I'm continually asked the question, what's going to happen to the housing market because of the current crisis? Well, I tell you, after 40 plus years of buying real estate, I've seen many market changes, and I believe that any upcoming swing in the real estate market, it can easily be put into perspective with just a little bit of forethought, if you will. Now, I'm not seeing what we experienced in 2008 and 2009, where much of the value of the houses where I live in Florida, that was virtually reduced by half, almost overnight. I believe with the current stay-at-home crisis where most people aren't able to go to work, I'm thinking more towards seeing many homeowners who are, and they have been, living on the financial edge, just a few paychecks from bankruptcy, not being able to make their monthly payments, including their mortgage payment. Now, I know some of you are thinking, yeah, the banks are modifying the borrower's payments until the later date, but some of these people are far too much in debt, and they're not going to be able to become current even with the government stimulus. You got to remember, these people also have car payments, credit card payments, and a host of other payments they won't be able to make up and pay. Now, the sad part of all of this is none of this crisis was any of their own fault. But, they're surely going to suffer the consequences of a situation they didn't create. So today I thought I'd go over how we as conscientious investors can help some of these people, where we as investors will be able to help these people who are forced into foreclosure if we can find these desperate property owners before their property goes into foreclosure. Because once it goes into foreclosure, once the lis pendens is filed at the courthouse, then everybody else is going to know about it. They're going to know that they're in foreclosure, and they're going to come out like vultures. Now, over the past few weeks, I've talked about becoming more educated about doing subject to deals, and I still think that's an excellent thing to know, especially with the crisis that we're facing. You see, when I find a pre-foreclosure property, I many times find where the owner has little or no equity that would enhance me to pursue those properties unless the payment's small enough and I can use it as a rental property. If not, if I can't use it as a rental and it's a pre-foreclosure and they have some equity, then maybe I can buy the property. I might be interested if they have some equity that I might be able to fix the property and sell it and make a profit. Now, this is where I'm possibly seeing a huge opportunity for many investors. But I truly believe the best way for me and many of you is to do these deals subject to. If the property owner has a considerable equity, there are a few ways to give the sellers equity to them. Doesn't have to be cash. The first way, you can give them a promissory note payable sometime in the future without any monthly payments, just due sometime in the future. The other way is to find another house that they can afford and they're willing to live in, and you buy the property with affordable seller financing terms. Now you can raise above what you pay for it the amount of their equity and then use that equity as their down payment on the property that you're going to sell to them. That way you are making money from the one that you get from them, and you're making money from the one that you're selling to them. Very important. Now, especially for those of you who are not easily able to borrow large sums of money to outright buy these foreclosure houses, with a short sale, subject to, I believe, can be possibly the subject that can help everyone win. But I want you to remember, if you do a subject to deal, there are some issues that can come back and bite you if you haven't provided the seller with the appropriate disclosures and you haven't done the subject to paperwork correctly. This is why over the past several podcasts I've talked about contacting me at larryharbold@gmail.com, where I'm offering my 31-page article on unwrapping the mystery of Subject 2. Now, I'm going to email it to you if you will ask for it. Now, if you will arm yourself with what you need to know and what to do and provide the correct paperwork, can make the difference between a successful Subject 2 deal and a disaster you might later wish you hadn't done in the first place. Now, the other thing I think you should think about is making sure that you're getting a property that fits your needs and your goals, not just doing a deal because someone's willing to give you a property. That doesn't make sense. Just make sure that whatever property you find, you must do your homework before making your deal with the owner. Without doing all your homework before you buy can be a financial disaster for you. So please, before you make your offer to buy any property, you must analyze the neighborhood that the property's located in. And you should always ask yourself simple questions. Questions like, are there many for sale signs in the neighborhood? Are there many rental signs in the neighborhood? Does this look like a homeowner area, or does it look more like a rental area? Would you feel comfortable owning a property in that neighborhood? Would you feel comfortable going into that neighborhood at night? Could you feel proud to own any one of the properties in that area? You need to know what the approximate age of the house is, what the average square footage of the property is. How recent have the latest sales been in that neighborhood? And what's the average time on market? Just to name a few, but these are critical things you need to ask yourself. Check and see what the crime statistics are in that neighborhood. Do many of the houses surrounding the property you're looking at need repairs? Do the exteriors of these houses, do they look well kept? Are the lawns mowed? Just little things. These are things you need to look at if you're going to make a good deal. Because if you don't, you're going to find out you wish you had. So understanding what's in a neighborhood and analyzing that neighborhood is going to be a critical part of what you do. Now, you should always think about what you're about to do to make sure it's a property you actually want. I think you need to think through your deal. Now, what do I mean by that? Here again, you got to ask, what type of area is the house in? What about the property you're looking at makes you believe that it could be a good deal? So if you don't know what the average price of the houses are in that neighborhood, how do you know what this property's worth? And you got to ask yourself, if I buy it, what do I plan to do with it? Am I going to fix and rent it? Am I going to fix and sell it? Am I going to flip the contract? Am I going to sell long-term with seller financing? You got to ask these questions. And the big one is, how will I finance the property if I buy it? Can you get seller financing terms? Do you have a financial friend? Are you going to have to get a hard money loan? Get an institutional loan? These are important questions you got to ask if you're going to do any Subject 2 property. Now, when you actually talk directly with the sellers, you've got to ask them the 8 critical questions you must ask. Questions like, why are you selling? Why would you sell a nice house like this? What are your plans after you sell? Here's a killer one. What do you plan to do with the money? Now, is it more important for you to get all cash? Or is it more important not to have to make the monthly payment? Or not having to maintain the property any longer? Many older people can't maintain the property any longer. The houses are too big and they want to get rid of them. Is it important for them to move to a new location? Or some of these people may want to sell on terms. You got to ask, is it more important to you to create a monthly income that you don't have to go to work for? These are important questions you've got to ask. But you got to make sure your target property isn't one that is going to be one of the 24 houses that you may want to avoid that I talk about in previous podcasts. Any area where you see too many for rent signs, too many for sale signs, houses that have no curb appeal, houses with steep driveways, houses near or on swampy ground, just to name a few. But these are the type of properties I recommend staying away from. You've got to know what you're going to do with these property if you plan to do a subject to deal. Before you do the deal, be sure to thoroughly read my 31-page article about unwrapping the mystery of subject to. This is so you don't make a critical mistake that could cost you more misery than you need to have to deal with. When, if you decide the property doesn't work for you, you can simply walk away. So remember, you're not responsible for the property owner's problem, and it's always better to walk away from the property than replacing the owners in the quicksand and causing harm to your family when it isn't necessary. Now, I'm going to say this one more time. The key to your success is the best teacher, which is experience. All the experience you can get. But when you lack experience, learn from somebody like me who has got over 40 years of doing deals and use my experience and eliminate years of struggle doing not so good deals like I did in the beginning. Think about joining me at one of my 4-day Never Step Into a Bank Again trainings. And when you sign up, I'm going to send you all of the manuals, extra bonuses included, the audio CDs, or I can deliver by thumb drive immediately so you can start learning. Then, when you're ready, you are also entitled to attend any of my upcoming 4-day trainings whenever you want. If you can't make the next one that's scheduled, come to the one you want to come to when you can. This is an important factor. Now, I'm offering you a unique chance to learn what others don't teach. Think about it. If you have an interest in learning what I have to teach, you can go to my website, larryharbolt.com, to sign up for one of my upcoming trainings. Or if you need some financial help, you can email me at larryharbolt@gmail.com to discuss what I'm willing to do for you. I'm currently helping others with my payment plan, so if you need help, please contact me. And don't forget, either way you sign up, you get my courses and a 4-day training that you can repeat 2 more times for free. Now, if you choose the payment plan, the entire amount must be paid before you can attend any of the boot camps. But let's talk about it. I can make it affordable for you, and if you'd like me to email you my 31-page lesson called Unwrapping the Mystery of Subject To, and it's free, just email me at larryharbolt@gmail.com and request a copy, and I will send it to you. And please continue to let me know that what I'm sharing with you every week has value, and also please suggest other subjects you would like to learn more about. So, my friends, that's going to about do it for this week. So I hope you found some value from today's topic, and I invite you to head over to larryharbolt.com and register to keep up to date with my tips and my ideas to help you become a better real estate investor. Now, if you're not already registered, go over to larryharbolt.com/register to get access to my free phone script on how to negotiate with sellers over the phone. Please be sure to tell a friend and leave me a review on the podcast player that you're using to listen to me now. You see, your reviews help me to know that the information that I'm providing for you has value and it's helping you. Be sure to check out my courses, articles, and available trainings on my website, and watch for my Facebook Live posts that I do every few days. And be sure to check out my coaching program. It's called Making Bigger Profits. Go to makingbiggerprofits.com, look it over. It's an affordable mentoring program that can help you so much if the price is a problem, but it's a great program. Again, it's makingbiggerprofits.com. So I hope you all have a great week. Until next time, this is Larry Harbolt.
Thanks for listening to the Real Deal Podcast with Larry Harbolt. To learn more about investing in real estate, head on over to larryharbolt.com and register for his educational tips and articles delivered by email.